Hey, it's Red Lace, and today I'm going to show you my top 10 tips for survival mode in Starbound version 1.0. These are also handy just for staying alive in regular. Number 1, heal yourself. So it's very important to have a way to heal your health as you are journeying across the stars, and you can do that most easily by finding these vines that are hanging from the underside of grassy areas, typically right under the surface or in little mountains like this right here. And you can also break away the blocks on the wall like I'm doing to actually have light in here. So if you don't have torches yet, that's a great way to get light inside a cave that's close to the surface in the early game. So we're going to go ahead and use our matter manipulator to knock down these vines. And what they are dropping is plant fiber. And plant fiber is a crucial component in crafting healing salves. So we're going to get up to a safe place here where I can open up my quick basic crafting menu and see that there are healing salves which take 4 plant fiber each. And these restore 50 health over 10 seconds, and these are really cheap to make, and you'll be making tons of these through the game, especially early. So we're just going to go ahead and wait for that to finish going through. So now I have plenty healing salves, and I could use some health right now. I'm down to almost 3 bars, so we're going to go ahead and put this in a quick slot, and you'll want to have these in a quick slot at all times. And you can see when I take it, little red plus signs appear, which means I'm healing, and you also get the buff on the left side of your screen by your name that shows you are healing, and it has a little bit of a cooldown, and then you can take more. Number 2, sleep in a bed. So sleeping in a bed is also a very important thing and can save you a lot of time and trouble, and also is another way to heal you. So you can find beds around. They're often in different shapes and forms. This is a sleeping bag. And you want to be sure to close your door so monsters don't disturb you because they will wake you up. But when you're sleeping in a bed, you also get the little healing buff. So if I had health loss right now, I'd see it in the corner as well. Number 3, food. Yum! Everybody loves some good tasty treats, and we especially need them in survival mode because you have a hunger bar. So when you're journeying planet surfaces, you'll see that there are crops out and about, and you'll want to make sure to collect food from those places. So once you find plenty of food, you'll want to make a campfire or use one that you find out and about. And to make a campfire, you need 4 wooden logs and 1 torch, so they're pretty easy to make, and they will let you use the heat for cooking. So we've found one here in this little hut. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of that, and you can see that we have lots of campsite cooking recipe options. So these all take 1 ingredient to make, and we're going to go ahead and just make as many as we can of each recipe. And this will be food that you can use to heal yourself. Now food will spoil, so you will want to have a refrigerator at some point, but in the early game that's not really an option. But keep in mind that it will go rotten and you'll have rotten food at some point, so you'll need to just kind of make what you need. So now I have food, now I can survive and fill my hunger bar, which when my hunger bar is full will heal me. Number 4, wood. So you definitely need wood in Starbound, and chopping trees is something you'll do a lot of using your matter manipulator. So whenever you find some trees, you can go ahead and chop them down using your matter manipulator, and they'll drop wooden logs and saplings. And the wooden logs can be turned into timber, which is a common crafting component. And so you can go ahead and chop down any types of trees you see. Some of them drop different things, but most of them all have wood. And when you're done chopping your trees, you'll want to be sure to replant. That way if you're near your house and you run out of wood, you have more trees you can chop down without having to stand and wait for them to grow. So we're going to go ahead and take these little saplings, which look like little light bulbs in my opinion, and we're going to just place them everywhere we can here on the dirt, and then you have more wood ready to grow. Number 5. Coal and ore. So on your journey you'll see lots of colored little dots like this underground or in the ground, and this is coal. Coal is black, but you'll also find ore around your journeys as well. Silver, gold, steel, iron, all those types of things. So when you find the stuff, you're going to want to harvest it with your matter manipulator or a pickaxe. Pickaxe will do it faster, but coal is very necessary, especially for crafting torches, which you need light to see in the dark, and a torch is the best way to provide yourself with some light. Number 6, shelter. Basic shelter is very important. When you are on your home planet, you'll want to spend some time crafting or doing whatever on the planet, so it's important to make a basic shelter. I like to make mine out of timber. It's cheap, it's plentiful, and it gets the job done. So I usually make my first house out of timber, and it doesn't need to be very big, it just needs to be functional. So 4 walls or two walls, a ceiling and a floor, and two doors or a door, which really you don't need a door. If you didn't have a door yet, you could just knock out blocks with your matter manipulator to get in and out, but that's kind of a pain, so having a door in the long run is definitely what you want to work towards. There's also an option where if you didn't want to be on a planet, you could live on your ship for the early game, but long term, I don't think the ship's really the best way to survive or live, and you lose out on some of the advantages of living planet-side, so I like to always build at least a home on a planet somewhere. But we're going to just kind of focus on a basic shelter here, so it's not going to be anything fancy. It's really just going to be a plain old box made out of wood. And I'm going to leave a 5-block high spot for a door here. Excuse me, 4 blocks. And then I found some doors on my journey, so I haven't been making them yet. I just found these and I stole them, looting some people's houses, which is pretty much the best way to get them in the early games. So now I have a couple doors, I have a roof, I have walls, I have a floor. So next thing you'll want to do is make a background walls, and so we're just going to place some background wood here behind us. This is important especially in weather because rain can knock torches and put out fires and do things like that. So the rain will flood your house and you don't want that, so you definitely need walls and windows to keep the flood out, as well as monsters. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up using wood, and it looks like I'm about out of timber, so I'll just have to make a couple pieces more. There we go. And now I have a safe box. Throw it on a torch, you're good to go. Call it home, have a good time, you're safe from monsters, do what you will in here when you want to. Number 7. Crafting tables. So the next thing to do after you have a basic shelter is crafting tables, and to get started you'll need the Inventor's Table, which takes 12 timber and 4 wooden logs from your basic crafting menu. So we're going to go ahead and build that, and it's used to produce various crafting stations, so you need to get started with the Inventor's Table before you can do any advanced crafting. So once I've made my Inventor's Table, I'm going to go ahead and put it in my room so I can actually interact with it. So I've placed it down here, and now I can interact with my table, and you can see that there's an anvil, which takes iron bars, timber, and logs, and it's used to produce armor and weapons from fabric and ore. The foraging table, used to produce items for farming, hunting, and mining. The primitive furnace, which is used to turn ores and other materials into crafting ingredients. The spinning wheel, used to produce clothing, fabrics, and other crafting ingredients. And the wooden workbench, which is used to produce materials and objects needed to build a settlement. You'll also find a lot of useful items for building a house in here. You'll also see each crafting station has an upgrade button at the top, so all your crafting tables can be upgraded. Number 8. Death in survival. So based on the description in the menu, it sounds like when you die you lose everything. That's not the case. So you can see I've died, I just came back after being killed, and I'm back to my spot where I died, and all my loot is here on the ground. So you can come back and retrieve your items upon death. When you do die, you lose 30% of pixels, and you also lose all your items except for your armor, your weapons, your torches, your flashlight. And so everything else is on the ground. Number 9. Looting. When you're on your journeys, you'll find lots of chests and crates, and be sure to interact with them and see what's inside, because you'll often find very useful stuff. And this is also very important when you're in a village of some sort. There's always stuff to loot there too, so be sure to always interact with chests or storage or furniture, because you'll often find some very valuable things. And I like to take the chest with me, because that way I know I've already looked inside, and I can use it to store stuff somewhere else. Number 10. Buying and selling. So when you get a chance to find a merchant, which is always a fun thing, you can see that you can buy and sell things. So I got lucky on my home planet and happened to have a frog merchant here, and he sells a variety of useful items, but the big thing is that I can sell things with him too, which if you're not to the outpost yet, being able to sell to somebody is very handy at making some pixels where you can buy some much needed items from the merchant that you're shopping at. But typically you'll be doing more buying and selling at the outpost where they have actual shops set up. So you can go ahead and put items in here. Some things have values, some things don't, as you'll see the sell value on the bottom change when you add or remove items, so you know what has value and what doesn't. and you can decide to sell it or not sell it. Nothing's final until you hit the sell button on the bottom. So when you decide on something to sell, there you go, you earn your pixels, and then you can go ahead and continue shopping with your newly earned funds. So thank you for watching, and please be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Twitch, all at Red Lace Gaming. I'm live weekdays starting at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Also visit my website, redlacegaming.com, where you can download the free indie guide to Starbound, and also other indie guides. So thank you very much. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.